Good morning. My name is Philip Jones. Welcome back to Let's Talk on the Second Chance.
And I'm Tafaro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coaches. If you or you know someone who has stage 3 to stage 5 kidney disease, reach out to us and we can help you with them being coached.
Today we're going to take it a little bit different direction. Excuse my voice. I'm still dealing with this nonsense over here. So, give me a couple of days and I'll be back to normal. But we're going to watch a quick video of dialysis life. Transplant Life transported via drone and world first. So we're going to take a look at this and then we'll kind of elaborate. We'll keep it a little bit shorter show today so we can get it in. I know me and Mr. Kubo have some business to take care of today. So but we want to bring you the show because we missed yesterday. I'll take responsibility for that one, but we just want to get back on track. So here we go.
That Friday, I was with my daughter, and then they came tell me that it's possible that you'll get the transplant later tonight or tomorrow morning. And then they asked me if I want to participate in the study that I wanted to do it after that. I'm an engineer, and I find it very, very interesting. Later that night, doctor said the drone's going to be coming in soon. The lungs are on their way. And then he went and got up, went to a phone, and he came back and said, your lungs are on arrived.
Can we make the organ better? We found that we actually improve that. What we've done is built a system where we actually transport donor lungs to the repair center, repair them on ex vivo perfusion, and then transport them to the transplant center. We get an offer for a donor in the middle of the night, and then multiple organs need to be placed to try and book planes to coordinate all of these different transplants. So you can imagine that being a lot simplified if you just have drones and program them to deliver the organ.
The organ is put in a liquid solution, which serves as sort of a shock absorber. On top of that, we added a custom-made case made out of carbon fiber material, which has been designed to minimize any vibration loads associated with the drone transport. And then finally, we have electronics that reports on the health of the organ along the way. We are developing drones that can fly close to 400 kilometers. We hope that would allow organs to be flown across large distances anywhere in the world.
The recovery from the operation is going good, progressing as predicted. We saw the film of the drone landing on the hospital over here, and that was just amazing. And I saw that it had my lungs in it, that were coming out. That was just amazing to see on the film.
Man, that's insane, man. For them to come up with something where, because you think of a drone and you think I got to stand under my drone the whole time and control it, to where to be able to be in range, and they flying things around the world from one spot.
Amazing, man. Again, like we talked about, the ingenuity, the technology of all these up-to-date things happening. And I never forget when I would say around 2000. It seemed like 2004 to 2007 or 2010.
Mm,
You didn't hear anything really going on in this world. You didn't. If you did hear about it, it was like vaguely. But now you're starting to see like a surge of technology that is revolutionizing the transplant industry like leaps and bounds. You know, just think about how convenient that is. At first, someone will have to go pick that up, two or three people in a vehicle,
mm,
traffic, taking the risk of getting injured, in a traffic jam or getting an accident, and then the kidney has to stay there, or I mean, the organ, whatever it is, has to stay there. It's taking so many risks when it's on the road, opposed to if it's up in the air, it just has a straight direct flight, nothing impeding this progress at all. It's just going straight there, doing its thing, and it gets there at a efficient time. You have an ET of X amount of time, elapsed time, and it gets there and it's ready to go. They even took consideration of putting it in some liquid to prevent vibration and things like that. So again, modern technology at its finest. We're starting to see these things where, and the guy who just had his transplanted lungs droned in, he's sitting there with a dog on his lap and he's ready to go. He's ready to go home because he's good.
right.
So it's remarkable. It was successful, and it's amazing to see the technology and the advancements that we're seeing nowadays.
And for us, it's good to see people in these professions, as professionals, that they care about the people that deal with organ failure and things of that nature, because like we had this conversation before, right? And it's not to come down on any other illness or anything like that, right? But you don't see commercials on, National Kidney Foundation, Why Not Foundation, AAKP, nothing like that, right? But you see all these videos on, cancer for you, the breast cancer, things that way. And again, I have nothing against anybody with these illnesses. We all have to fight the fight to live. So my respect is there. I'm just saying that I think the attention needs to be paid all the way around for it to be made a difference, right? It just can't be 2% here, 15% here, 30% here. I think it needs to be kind of an equal balance of attention being paid to these illnesses, because what happens is like we just talking about how people are dying from COVID and stuff like that, right? Yeah, it's a high number because it's a lot of things that haven't been addressed in on that side of certain illnesses, and that's just me. Please don't include Mr. Cook on that unless he states so. But um, that's all. I just think it needs to be more attention paid, and not just kidney failure, not just liver failure, organ failure, but all of these things: diabetes, high blood pressure, sclerosis, anything. So I want to make that. No, I'm not just saying it because I'm a transplant patient. I'm saying it in general, period. That all of these illnesses need to be paid attention to try to be uh, fixed, I should say. I was going to say cured because we know that's a possibility that may not actually be there, but where these things can, some things some actions can be taken to make certain things better for certain people. So I'm
I agree with you. Where but we are starting to see the movement in the organ industry. Organ transplant industry. We are seeing the movement. You when you compare it to cancer, cancer has a big advantage, and the big advantage cancer has is it affects more people, while organ transplant affects a lot of people of color, and there's a disparity right there. So, with that being said, the money's not there for the organ transplant industry, opposed to cancer. So that's why we're going to be behind no matter what.
I could
You
agree
know,
with that.
and a cancer affects so many more people than organs. If you do the stats, it's like almost 3 to 1, and there's so many variations of cancer opposed to the list of transplants. Now, don't get me wrong. You can do cadaver transplants with ligaments and all types of things, but it's not as a it's not as big as the cancer industry. So that's why we see that disparity right there, and again, who it affects. So those two disparities have a lot to do with what you talked about. And granted, I'm with you on that, man. I would love to see more. But with that being said, there hasn't been a week that goes by that we haven't seen any, remarkable technology that is happening in the industry. You know, yeah, of course, we're not going to see the commercials. We're not going to see that because it's just not that big. It doesn't affect that many people. We see Cancer Society, we see, all the other societies, St. Jude's, all these cancer societies. National Kidney Foundation and other foundations just aren't that big, and they're not dealing with a budget like that. So it's up to people like us who do the groundwork. I never forget I was speaking one time, and a transplant surgeon from NYU came up to me after I spoke, and she said, "Tafara, what you're doing is awesome because I believe it's going to take guys like you who do the groundwork to see the progression of of our movement, moving the needle in the right direction." And
Mm-hmm.
she said, "This is what happened when people got HIV. Now, how people solved HIV was the groundwork of the people on the ground doing it. It wasn't the doctors, it wasn't the hospital. It was people who got affected, and they made the difference." And that's what she was saying to somebody like you and I, who we get on these podcasts. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But we get on these podcasts and we network with other people in this same industry trying to move the needle. And she said it's going to take somebody like us who are doing the groundwork, the foundation work, just like HIV, to cause the big changes. And I believe, Phil, one step at a time, we are doing it. But it's a big pull.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to keep on fighting the good fight. And that's everybody in this area that we're, moving the needle. And we appreciate you all who are moving the needle in this direction. And the good thing is I like the people who are moving the needle in this direction who aren't physically affected, but they might have a loved one. They might have been a donor, and those people are still moving the needle. And that's awesome too. And sometimes we might not see this come to fruition 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Us doing laying the foundation of the groundwork. Sometimes we might not even be around when we see the evolution. But I am happy that we are seeing the evolution of the pig kidney, artificial kidney, this drone bringing lungs in, and things like that. So every good step is a good step for mankind, I could say.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's going to take patience and progression to get to where we're trying to go. I'll give small, quick example. I told you, my dad works at LA Southwest College Community College. It's actually right down the street from our house. He's been there 20 plus years. And when I really started kind of getting around that school, it was bungalows. School started out at bungalows, bro. Like this school, I think started in 1967. From there to like 2000, like 2000, 2001, maybe a little bit after that, bungalows, bro. Just all bungalows. I think the only like real building that they had was the theater that came in not too long before that, and the physical education building that was not too long. That was also at the same time, right? So between then and now, there are bungalows, but they're not those bungalows. Those are bungalows that they needed when they were doing construction. So now they're on like the end of their construction, right, at this school, and They just broke ground on building a student union. I'm not gonna lie to you. Never thought ever on earth that Southwest College would have a student union on their campus. Never, until it came up the other day in an email. But so many things have changed. I've seen so many presidents coming out that school, VPs, deans, things of that nature. Like I said, it's currently a school that I go to. But to see the transition, right, and waiting, because I've heard so many people say so many things, like we talked about before, right? Being what was the name of that book that you referred to? Beside the stoop. I can't remember the first part of it.
What's the book?
You say the book that you brought up, or movie. I'm sorry, the movie you saying about being on the side of the stoop. When you hear stuff you maybe not supposed to, or you hear by accident.
I can't remember. I'm sorry. I
As
apologize.
soon as we get off here, you're gonna say it, and I know it because it happens every time we get off. but basically, when you, and it's not so much in this situation of being in a place I'm not supposed to be in, or hearing something I'm not supposed to hear, but it's just, it's not something that you would think a kid would hear that I
Oh,
did.
spook to step beside the door. Right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
right. So, to see, a lot of people didn't think certain things would happen, at this school, and it's happened over time. It's taken, what's this year? I think the first year they started was I believe 2004 or 5. They started with the stadium and some areas. If you ever watched that video with Kobe jumping over the pool bombers and stuff, he shot that at our school. There's a number of things that's been done there, but especially it looks different because of all the construction. But my point is, patience is what's going to get you where you need to go. So we may sit here and this, getting to hit a year of doing this just about, even from, with Mr. Cook. I mean, we did the symposiums and stuff, and why not? So that stuff counts, and we probably had 96 subscribers in 12 months, which is okay. Over time, as we keep working, things will start to progress, things will start to happen. It's the same thing that's going to happen, with this stuff on the transplant side and things of that nature, is that we're going to just have to let it, we're going to have to be patient, let it develop, and it'll come. So, you got anything else, Mr. Cook? I'm done. And keep this
I'm done too, man. That was awesome. I'm glad you found that video. That was wonderful, man. Thank you.
It was very important to talk about, the investment and what's coming around.
That's what, yeah, because like again, I think, with drones, moving, shaking and baking, moving, from hospital to hospital, that's going to be, like I said, I just think that cuts out a lot of time frame. That cuts out a lot of hassle that can happen when you're moving an organ on the highway. Anything can happen. We have a person in need. This car, ambulance or whatever, getting a fender bender, it has to stop. So it's going to take some time.
Right.
Time is of the essence when these organs are getting transported. So I have nothing to say, but that is wonderful, and I look forward to seeing more and more of these things happen.
Definitely. If you're new watch the replay, please hit the subscribe button, like, share. We appreciate your support, and we're gonna go ahead and get out of here today. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we love and appreciate you.